your turf.
Tonight, the states of emergency as we come on the air. The massive nor'easter hitting right now from Virginia up through Philly, New York City, and New England. Up to 2 feet of snow in some places, thunder snow in New York City. Tonight, a teacher on bus duty struck by lightning holding an umbrella. And now our weather team telling us what could be yet another nor'easter brewing. It could hit first thing next week. Also breaking tonight, reports Hope Hicks, who resigned from the White House, had her email hacked. And the porn star now suing the president tonight. Her lawyer now saying the president must have known about the payment to silence her. There is news coming in now, an apparent accidental shooting at a high school, several hit. And at another school, a student under arrest tonight. A backpack bomb discovered in the cafeteria. We have new reporting this evening on the poison plot. Authorities now say it was a nerve agent used against a former spy. He and his daughter in critical condition tonight. So was the first officer on the scene. And the NBA star and the surprise. It's America Strong.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. And we begin with the powerful nor'easter slamming the East Coast at this hour. States of emergency in New Jersey and Pennsylvania already declared tonight. Heavy snow falling from Philadelphia to New York City to Boston and points west later tonight. Drivers right here facing whiteout conditions in Fishkill, New York. Downed wires sparking and burning in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. More than 100,000 customers without power for days, now getting hit a second time. And look at this, the view tonight from space showing the system pounding the coast, and there is word this evening of yet another major storm right behind it. But let's get through this one first, and ABC's Lindsay Davis leading us off.
Tonight, a nightmare commute. That major nor'easter bringing a full-on whiteout. The powerful storm dumping up to 3 inches an hour of snow from New York City to Philadelphia, accompanied by flashes of lightning and thunder snow. In Toms River, New Jersey,
Squad 29, the Manchester Middle School, a 30-year-old female struck by lightning.
A middle school teacher on bus duty is lucky to be alive after lightning struck her umbrella. Her injuries are not life-threatening. High winds downing power lines, causing sparks to fly. In New Jersey and Pennsylvania, states of emergency and trouble on the roads. WPBI's Annie McCormick is outside Philadelphia.
PennDOT has made it so that a number of roadways like this one, you can only go 45 miles per hour. There's a tree that's actually down here as well, something that people are having to avoid. It's just constant problems. That's probably the best way to explain it.
Tractor trailers banned on interstates. Gio Benitez is in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
This is exactly why they want people off the road, because they want these emergency vehicles to get through as quickly as possible.
In Rye Brook, New York, this dashcam video from last week's storm shows police and a resident scrambling as a tree nearly crushes them, crashing onto power lines. Crews are racing to restore power to more than 100,000 customers still in the dark from that first nor'easter, and today's storm has just tripled that number.
So right now it's saying it's 45 degrees inside.
Nicole Davis is now concerned the snow will keep her family's power off even longer.
So you lost power Friday. Now they're saying they may not have it restored until Friday. Is this the longest stretch, an entire week?
This is the longest stretch, I think, ever. Yeah.
Carol and Jimmy Cook were relieved to get their power back.
Now with the second storm, we just lost power again. I am tired of this.
And on the Massachusetts coast,
you can see these crews, they are working until they really just cannot work anymore.
Residents are holding their breath, hoping that this time those seawalls will hold.
We're all hoping so tonight. Lindsay Davis with us live from Larchmont, New York, outside New York City. And Lindsay, we can see the crews there behind you trying to restore power even as this nor'easter continues to pound the coast.
Yes, David, the crews continue to work despite the storm. Unfortunately, we're continuing to see scenes like this all over the area. Look at these down trees, down power lines. And the concern now is that with the snow being so heavy that it's only going to bring down more trees and more power lines, slowing the recovery process. David?
All right, Lindsay Davis leading us off tonight. Lindsay, thank you. And no surprise, the ripple effects from the nor'easter are being felt across the country tonight. Major airlines canceling and delaying thousands of flights today. Heavy snow falling at the airport in Philly right there. New York's LaGuardia Airport canceling nearly 2/3 of its flights, and ABC's Kana Whitworth is there tonight.
Tonight, that nor'easter bringing some airports to a total standstill. Flights at Newark Airport completely shut down for over an hour, as nearly 3,000 flights canceled and over 1,700 delayed nationwide. Crews in Philadelphia scrambling to clear runways, and in New York trying to de-ice planes.
It's just after noon here at LaGuardia Airport, and look, there's almost nobody here. They've had to cancel 580 flights today, and American Airlines alone had to cancel 70% of their flights. You able to fly out of here today?
Nah, not at all.
Among the few poor souls left, Brian Newell trying to get to Atlanta for a meeting.
How frustrating is this?
Very. Now I have to travel, well, an hour back home in the snow.
He was also delayed last week when strong winds ripped the roof right off an airport hangar. But this time, officials say there are new problems.
Today, it seems like the main story is mixed accumulation and a little bit of the wind.
LaGuardia Airport remains open despite the fact that they have canceled over 700 flights. Very few planes coming in or out, and representatives here tell us tomorrow they will start a recovery process, but they warn flyers that they should expect delays. David, we have already seen 400 cancellations for tomorrow alone.
Wow. Open, but a ghost town there behind you. Kana, thank you. Let's get right to senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. He's live along New York's West Side Highway tonight with the track of this. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Here in the cities, it's been a wet snow, but the strongest bands now of the storm working their way through the New York tri-state area. Heavy snow through Connecticut, Long Island, nearing blizzard conditions. The center of the low just south of there have been rapidly intensifying through the afternoon. It will continue its track across Cape Cod into the Gulf of Maine. Rain to snow in Boston briefly as it all ends from west to east overnight tonight into replacing gusty winds away from the cities. Again, 1 to 2 feet of snow, lesser amounts because of the wetness here in the cities, but a miserable commute after you dig out in the morning. And an active weather pattern, David, looks like another potential nor'easter coming to us right about Monday. David?
Wow. All right, your camera lens fogging up in the conditions, but we hear you loud and clear, Rob. Thanks to you again tonight. We move on this evening into breaking developments from the White House at this hour. ABC News learning that Hope Hicks, who just resigned, told the House Intelligence Committee that her email had been hacked. This news coming 24 hours after President Trump's top economic advisor, Gary Cohn, resigned too. And take a look at this image from January 22nd of last year, the day the president's senior staff was sworn in, and so many of those closest to the president are now gone tonight, no longer on the team. ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega.
From President Trump's former communications director and longtime confidant, tonight a stunning admission. A source inside the room for Hope Hicks's testimony last week to House Intelligence Committee members investigating Russian election meddling tells ABC News Hicks said one of her email accounts was hacked. The hack taking place during the 2016 campaign. It is unclear whether it was a personal or campaign email account. The disclosure raising a host of questions about who was behind the hack and what exactly they obtained. Hicks resigned a day after that testimony.
Any collusion?
A week later, another high-profile departure, the president's chief economic advisor, Gary Cohn, becoming the 6th top aide to leave the West Wing this year alone. Today, mounting questions about the turmoil.
Why are so many people leaving this administration?
Look, this administration has had a historic first year. We're going to continue to do great things. This is an intense place, as every White House, and it's not abnormal that you would have people come and go.
In fact, the number of departures is not just abnormal, it is record-setting. According to one study, staff turnover in the Trump White House is higher than the past 5 administrations.
If this is not the definition of chaotic, how would you describe what's happening in these recent weeks?
If it was, then I don't think we would be able to accomplish everything that we've done.
One of the reasons for some of those departures, aides who still have not passed a background check to access classified information. The president campaigning on protecting the nation's top secrets.
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified.
But more than a year in, it remains a major problem for his administration. Now Chief of Staff John Kelly cracking down. ABC News has learned at least 3 low-level White House staffers have been fired or reassigned for issues related to their security clearance. Still on the job, the president's own son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner, who was stripped of his top secret security clearance after he was unable to pass an FBI background check.
So let's get to Cecilia Vega live at the White House tonight. And Cecilia, that news tonight that Hope Hicks had one of her email accounts hacked during the campaign. This is not the first indication that we've heard that the Trump team may have been targeted by hackers.
Yeah, David, last year the FBI warned the Trump Organization, the family business, that there had been an attempted hack from overseas. It's not just the family business. The FBI has also warned top aides here in the West Wing, including Hope Hicks, about being targeted by foreign hackers. But tonight, on this latest admission from Hicks's attorney, David, no comment.
Cecilia Vega asking the questions at the White House today. Cecilia, thank you. Now to the other headline involving the White House tonight. Adult film star Stormy Daniels is now suing the president. Her attorney saying he has no doubt that the president knew that Daniels had been paid $130,000 just before the election to keep quiet. She now says that deal is not valid because the president did not sign it. Here's ABC's chief national correspondent, Tom Yamas, tonight.
Tonight, the White House in damage control. Porn star Stormy Daniels suing President Trump, arguing her non-disclosure agreement is null and void. Daniels claims she and the president began an intimate relationship in the summer of 2006 in Lake Tahoe, a relationship that included at least one meeting in a bungalow at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I spoke with her lawyer today.
Did your client, Stormy Daniels, have sex with President Trump?
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
No doubt in my mind.
In the complaint, Daniels acknowledges signing what she calls a hush agreement, something she has not done before.
Do you have a non-disclosure agreement?
Do I?
The president's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, has admitted paying Daniels $130,000 of his own money just days before the election, but said in a statement neither the Trump Organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction. Daniels' attorney says the president must have been aware.
The suggestion, or any suggestion, that he didn't know about it is quite honestly absurd, for lack of a better term. We believe that he absolutely knew about it.
The White House pressed on this today.
Yeah, I've had conversations with the president about this, and as I outlined earlier, that this case had already been won in arbitration, and that there was no knowledge of any payments from the president, and he's denied all of these allegations.
In her lawsuit, Daniels now claims the non-disclosure agreement is invalid. Why?
There is a signature line for Mr. Trump on the agreement. He was obligated to sign it, and he never signed it. And it's really that simple.
Daniels claims they used aliases in the agreement. President Trump was referred to as David Dennison, and she was Peggy Peterson. And right here, you can see a space where Daniels says Mr. Trump would have signed, but it's blank.
And Tom is with us now. We heard Sarah Sanders say just a moment ago that they already won in arbitration. That got our attention today. What did she mean by that?
That's right. And we actually have some new reporting on that, David. Now, Stormy Daniels' attorney tells us that last week, Michael Cohen obtained a temporary restraining order against Ms. Daniels, essentially saying if she talks about confidential information regarding President Trump, she could be subject to damages. Daniels' attorney calls this a bogus arbitration order and that they will not be intimidated. Cohen is not returning our phone calls, David.
All right, Tom, great to have you. There is late word tonight of a new school shooting, this time in Birmingham, Alabama. Police responding to reports of shots fired at Huffman High School. At least 2 students were wounded as school was letting out, one of them suffering life-threatening injuries. The school briefly placed on lockdown, and authorities tonight believe the shooting may have been accidental. And in Florida, the showdown at this hour in the state capitol over what to do after the deadly school shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School. Alleged gunman Nicholas Cruz, formally indicted today as stories emerge of his behavior behind bars. Lawmakers now with 2 days left. Will the students and the parents who marched to the Capitol get anything they were asking for? ABC's Victor Akendo from Florida tonight.
Tonight, as Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz is formally indicted on 17 counts of murder, disturbing new details about his life in jail. Behind bars, Cruz appeared to be smiling and giggling. One deputy writing in a report released by the sheriff's office, he, quote, avoids eye contact, looks downward with a blank stare. And tonight, the survivors and the families who marched to the state capitol wait to see if lawmakers do anything. They have just 2 more days to pass a new bill before the end of the session. The bill raises the minimum age to buy all guns to 21 and establishes a 3-day waiting period for most firearm purchases. It does not ban assault-style rifles like the one used in the attack, as the students wanted. It does allow certain teachers and school employees to arm themselves on a voluntary basis. These students protesting that idea, and one Republican lawmaker did not like that.
Do we allow the children to tell us that we should pass a law that says